In many ways, the default human experience mirrors the life of a parrot. There is constant noise and high-energy activity, yet the flight path never actually breaks through the dense canopy to reach high-altitude success. This environment stays crowded because it feels safe. When your social circle consists mainly of those who avoid risk, the sparrows and ravens of the world, their collective narrow-mindedness acts as a ceiling, keeping your own ambitions grounded in mediocrity. If the canopy is designed to keep you tucked safely away, how do you actually cultivate the mindset required to leave it behind? For an eagle, that transition is forced from within the nest. The parent bird begins a specific biological process of removing the soft down and grass, leaving only the sharp twigs and thorns exposed to its young. This behavior suggests that growth depends on a willingness to dismantle one's own security. When the routines that once provided comfort become a source of irritation, the impulse to find a higher, more stable environment becomes the only way to find relief. Escaping the crowd requires making the familiar so unbearable that taking flight, no matter the risk, becomes the only logical choice. Once that flight begins, the environment changes. At high altitudes, the sky is empty. Eagles fly alone, intentionally distancing themselves from the lower-tier birds that stay close to the ground. An eagle spots movement 5 kilometers away, filtering a chaotic landscape into a single high-definition vector. Once locked in, distractions cease to exist. The trajectory remains unchanged regardless of obstacles. Committing to the target ensures a problem's size never dictates the pursuit's intensity. This pursuit is driven by a strict dietary rule: the refusal to scavenge. An eagle does not eat dead meat. It relies entirely on the prey it captures through its own effort. In a professional context, relying on past achievements is the equivalent of eating dead meat. High performers recognize yesterday's success cannot sustain today's growth, necessitating a constant search for new challenges. Maintaining this level of focus requires separating from the noise of the crowd and looking toward future conquests rather than dwelling on what has already been won. The ultimate test of this mindset occurs when the environment turns hostile. As violent storm clouds gather over the mountains, most animals instinctively seek shelter to wait for the danger to pass. The eagle responds to this same turbulence with a sense of anticipation. It waits for the precise moment when the pressure reaches its peak. The eagle positions its wings so chaotic wind vectors strike the leading edge and redirect downward, converting turbulence into massive upward lift. This pattern applies to market or personal chaos. By aligning strategy with pressure, crisis energy provides your greatest elevation. Top performers use environmental instability as an updraft. They capture the momentum of the storm to reach heights that would be impossible to achieve in a calm atmosphere. Over time, however, even the most capable predator faces a decline. Feathers become heavy with age, and the sharp tools required for the hunt begin to fail, making survival a matter of biological urgency. At this stage, the eagle retreats. It finds a high, isolated peak, far removed from the daily demands of the territory it once ruled. What follows is a brutal process of self-correction. The eagle methodically plucks out its own weak feathers and breaks its beak and talons against the rocks until it is completely bare and defenseless. This mirrors the difficult work of shedding outdated habits or shedding relationships that no longer contribute to your progress. It is the act of ruthlessly auditing your life and removing anything that adds weight without adding value. Only after this period of vulnerability and stripping away the old can the eagle grow the fresh tools needed to fly. It emerges from isolation with the capacity to reach even higher altitudes than it did in its prime. Sustaining excellence requires moving through a recurring cycle, disrupting your own comfort, hunting with singular focus, capturing the energy of chaos, and enduring the internal work of self-renewal.